I should turn the mic on. I'll bring the design adjustment meeting to order. To open up the meeting, I just need to read an introduction. The meeting of the Design Adjustment Committee today is August 13th. Attorney Mike Satterfield will be advising the committee on legal and procedural questions. Brian Chambers and Amy Bradshaw are here to serve the staff as staff to the committee. The Design Adjustment Committee's purpose is to establish clear and measurable review criteria for the consideration of major deviations from the city's technical standards and specifications manual, building design and material standards, and subdivision standards. The DAC does not consider the housing type, the cost of the proposed unit, occupants, building material, unit size, number of bedrooms, or the architectural design of the structures. These hearings are quasi-judicial evidentiary hearings. That means it's like a court hearing, and the committee's decisions are constrained by the standards in the ordinance and based on the facts presented. All requests require a 4/5 vote of the committee to grant the request. Appeals to the DAC decisions are to the Superior Court. A written notice of appeal must be filed with the New Hanover County Superior Court within 30 days of the DAC's decision. The parties to these cases are entitled to an impartial board. If a board member has a fixed opinion about the matter, a financial interest in the outcome, a close relationship with an affected person, or has any ex parte communication about the matter, please disclose that information to determine if a recusal is necessary. City staff will introduce the project to the DAC, and DAC members may ask questions. The applicant may present additional information about the project, and the members may ask additional questions. If anyone wishes to provide evidence at today's hearing, witnesses must sign in on the clipboard at the back of the room and be sworn in. Because witnesses are to provide sworn testimony, please focus on the facts and standards, not personal preference or opinion. When a witness comes forward to give testimony, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and speak clearly. At this time, staff will administer the oath for all individuals who intend to provide witness testimony.
If I could have all staff, applicants, and members of the public to please stand up and raise your right hand if you intend to be speaking today. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So the first order of business is the approval of the previous meeting minutes. Did everybody on the committee have a chance to review, and are there any recommendations to the minutes, modifications? And if none, do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. According to the agenda, we have one item of new business, project name 917 Pine Street. Is there a presentation by staff? 1917 Pine Street, sorry.
Yes, 1917 Pine Street. Good afternoon, Chairman, committee members. Today we'll be doing an evidentiary hearing for design adjustments at 1917 Pine Street. The area shown highlighted in green is an unimproved portion of Pine Street, an existing 60-foot public right-of-way. Currently, there are 4 lots and 1 home which have access to the unimproved portion. The existing home currently accesses the right-of-way, and 4 undeveloped lots will be accessing the right-of-way in the near future. The Technical Standards and Specification Manual specifies minimum standards for minor streets in residential areas and subdivisions, including 5-foot sidewalks on both sides of the street. The applicant proposes to install 5-foot sidewalks on only one side of the street and has provided an alternative street cross-section showing the proposed revised layout. The applicant has provided justification for the request on attachment 3 of your package. This concludes staff's presentation. and I'd like my case entered into the record. The applicant and representatives are here as well to answer any of your questions.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions of staff?
I didn't see that the width of sidewalk was provided. Does the applicant propose 5-foot sidewalks, or is there 6-foot sidewalks along the back of curb?
My understanding is that it is 5-foot sidewalks, but I'll let the applicant reach out, speak out on that.
Todd, the only question I have just looking at this excerpt of the site plan is on that lower right quadrant there, is there any existing sidewalk along, I guess that's North Carolina Avenue?
On the lower right, no, there is not.
Okay. So, and just my thinking is, if this development were to build sidewalk on both sides, it wouldn't connect to anything on that?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? All right, thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite the applicant up to give a presentation or any additional information.
Good afternoon. My name is Darren Ivy. I live at 203 Borden Avenue. I don't have a whole lot to add to it, but there were three main reasons why we were requesting that the sidewalk requirement along the western side be omitted. The main reason is the tree conflict closer to North Carolina Avenue. There are two large oak trees that would be difficult, if not impossible, to get around without severely damaging root systems. The second point is that there are currently no lots on the western side of Pine Street in that block that would be served by the sidewalk. And then the third point, this is a dead-end street and very little pedestrian traffic is anticipated. You were asking about the width of the sidewalk proposed. I think it is 5 feet. Branch Smith, the design engineer, should be here shortly. There might be some portions that are 6 feet wide. I vaguely remember him talking about that. As you can see on the plan, there are certain sections of sidewalk that are at the back of curb, and I think some of that was requested to be 6 feet wide per engineering. Rob Gordon, I believe, wanted that 6 feet wide. But I can let Branch speak to that once he gets here. But I'd be happy to answer any other questions about it.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Ivy? All right. Thank you. Can't discount us calling you back up for questions
Okay.
later.
All right.
But
Thank you.
all right, at this time, I will open the meeting for any public comments. Is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on this item? If so, please come forward. Not seeing any, I will close the public comment period. Does anybody on the committee have any comments regarding this request?
I do support sidewalk on a single side to support tree save. I know with the sidewalk on the back of curb, some of those driveways can be difficult to get in, to stay at grade. Maybe an option, I believe maybe TRC, where the sidewalk could be pushed back to the right-of-way. When we vote, are we approving this cross-section in total, or just the sidewalk on one side, and then we can allow TRC to adjust the alignment of that sidewalk?
It'd be my understanding, and Michael can correct me, where we would be approving sidewalk on one side of the street, and I think it would be important to let the location dimensions of that sidewalk be determined by TRC.
I agree.
I think we're just allowing the variance of one side, not both. So, any other comments?
I see that there's valley curb proposed for the entire street. Thinking that's going to create a situation where vehicles are going to park on that sidewalk where there's not a driveway. So I think if we propose valley curb for the driveway portions where there's private driveways proposed, that'd be a good thing. But vertical curb everywhere else to prevent those vehicles parking on the sidewalk.
That's a good point, okay. Do you think that would be something else that TRC would have input on, or I guess we could make it as a part of the,
Part of the TRC review.
either part of, I guess we could make it part of our approval that vertical curb be placed on the portions without driveways. Okay,
Agree.
all right. Any other discussion? And if not, does anybody want to make a motion to that effect?
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, did the committee want to wait until the engineer clarified the question on the width of the sidewalk, or do you have the information you need now? Are you comfortable to proceed?
I think I have the information comfortable to allow TRC to make those dimensional requirements.
Okay.
Does that appease you from our standing standpoint of?
That will work.
of what we're actually
He mentioned
allowing
his
here,
engineer
yeah.
was on the way, so.
Okay. I'll invite the applicant back up. It sounds like he's got some information.
Sorry, I don't have the exact information you're looking for, but I do know that Branch Smith, the design engineer, and the greater TRC have discussed the alignment of the sidewalk and curb and the type of curb in relation to the proximity to the sidewalk. And my understanding for maybe the last round of review comments is that there was going to be a mix of stand-up vertical face curb and valley curb, probably to address some of those concerns. I think that has been discussed through the regular TRC process, and today's meeting is just kind of like one of I think it's probably the very last detail to be hashed out on the plan. Yeah, I think it's been sorted out, and as soon as the engineer gets here, he could speak to it with greater certainty. But I think it's going to be. I think the final comments were that there will be a mix of both valley and vertical face curb.
Okay. So you mentioned the engineer's on his way here?
Yes, he
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, he was in a meeting, lunch meeting, and it ran late. So,
Gotcha.
sorry, he has more information than I do. I'm a little familiar with it, but he's intimately familiar with
Okay.
it.
Do you have any idea how far out he is? Or?
I could call him very quickly. Let me.
Okay.
I'll step to the back of the room and call him.
Okay. Beth?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I went back and took a look at the comments from the engineer of record, and he does state that 6-foot sidewalks would be required anywhere where it touches the back of curb, and there is a drawing in here where the engineer record showed where the two different types of curb, the vertical curb and the valley curb, are recommended during the TRC process.
Okay, thank you. So I guess that appeases or addresses your comments
So-
about, okay.
There's one other thing I'd like to add is that the proposed slope of the road, it shows 1/8 inch per foot. That's roughly a 1% slope. The city technical standards require 2% slope. So that would need to be adjusted as well. I believe the city technical standard specifies it as a 1/4 inch per foot.
Okay,
Another adjustment.
all right. We'll just, how would we, do we need to document?
That waiver was not a part of the application.
Right. All technical aspects would be addressed by the technical review committee?
I think that would be the appropriate way.
Okay, all right. I'm having a technical issue here, so bear with us. All right, we're back in business.
I'm comfortable making a motion for approval with the condition that the cross-section is reviewable and alignment during technical review committee.
All right, that's your motion?
That's a motion.
All right, I'll second that motion, just with the clarification of, that the technical review committee also will have the decisions of the widths and locations of the sidewalks and the curbs, just to further clarify what you were referencing there. Any further discussion on the item? All right. So all in favor of the motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes unanimously. And that concludes the new business for this meeting. I do want to make an announcement that the next regular meeting of the Design Adjustment Committee will be on September 17th, 2025. And it will be a change in venue. It'll be located at the Skyline Center at 929 North Front Street, and we hope to see everybody there. That concludes the meeting. Thank you.